Hey there. So it has been a while since I have done an update on Robert Roberson's. I've done several videos on this case. This is a man with autism. He was wrongfully accused of killing his baby toddler after he'd been given custody. One of the jurors even testified. You had over 80 lawmakers, both Democrat and Republican, the biggest bipartisan panel of legislators who have begged and begged and begged for them to not execute him. He has been to the last hour before he's been executed multiple times, and he has been spared from this wrongful killing of this man. And it's such a sad story because they just wrongfully accused him. They said that his baby had baby shaken syndrome, and then found later that the baby died of some kind of virus. I don't remember exactly, but they actually did further tests. And so it's really sad because he had taken his baby in and the hospital failed to properly diagnose it. And so what does the hospital do? The hospital wrongly accuses this man of having basically shaken his baby. And it's the first one ever to be executed for this, now passed off as junk science, baby shaken syndrome. And there have been other people released from death row on this false diagnosis, but it's how they went about it. And then you had where there was this big battle trying to get him before they stopped the last execution because they wanted to call him in as a witness. And so then you had the legislative branch take on the judicial branch, and it was a big deal, went before the Texas Supreme Court. And so anyways, they stopped him. They're saying in the news that he never testified, and that's because they didn't allow him. Like literally there was the Texas AG, unfortunately, literally committed perjury, in my opinion, and lied and made up things anew about this man that was never even presented at trial. And one of the jurors, they did have a meeting and a hearing with one of the jurors who was stated that he was basically told, they were told that he had beat the baby. And so now they're like, they can try to change their stories. But the bottom line was, this man took his baby into the hospital. They failed to properly diagnose her. She died of a virus, and it was sad. The hospital should have been held accountable. I mean, the hospital failed to properly diagnose and then falsely accused this man. And at any rate, the bottom line was, he didn't do it. He did not kill his daughter. He did not kill his daughter. So they had him scheduled for execution of October 16th. And I have signed petitions. I think the last petition they did on him, it was like hundreds of thousands of people. And so I thankfully, praise God, that finally his execution was canceled again. So what happened this time that canceled his execution was the Texas Criminal Court. Now, I've listened to one of the judges on the appeal court actually testified and gave hearing and interview and everything else that, she believed that his conviction should have been reversed. There was wrongful use of a specific statute that was supposed to prevent junk science or whatever. And she was saying that maybe it wasn't worded, the law wasn't worded properly or whatever. She was suggesting that the lawmakers on how they could better write the statute or whatever. But it was the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals that reversed it this time. So I am just so thank you. So it's been sent back to the lower court for review. So he's still needing a lot of prayer, and so that he can be set free. And I just wanted to say, to see this many lawmakers of all political parties, all ethnicities, standing up for this man. And here's the thing, how many people have been wrongfully convicted in our country, and Texas is hardcore, especially in the death penalty. I'm very, very disappointed in the governor. But I don't know, maybe the governor not having, they were like trying to commute his sentence to life or whatever, but putting it on the urgent status like this, maybe it was better to have it sent back to the lower court. But please pray that he gets a new trial. I mean, when you have one of the jurors of his original trial that testified how horrified she is and completely believing in his innocence now, and how they misled things at the trial. And I mean, you should, if you are somebody who's into true crime, and just like watch all the videos there are on this case. And and I heard the judge speak, and I heard the juror speak, and I just was horrified at what this Texas AG did. And I read the briefs. I read the briefs that went before the Supreme Court, and I read the briefs that went before the Texas Supreme Court, and the arguments between the legislative branch. They put the legislative branch against the executive branch, and it's powerful when you see so many legislators, I mean, over 80, that are just like, look, this is wrong. It's wrong, and if they're that insistent on not trying to do the right thing for this man, and that many people are crying out for him, and there's so much evidence that this man should not only be not executed, but he should be set free. How many more people are being oppressed? How many? So please, if you're somebody that prays, keep this in your prayers. I beg you. And for all the people who are being wrongfully convicted, it happens. It happens. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for your time.